Okay, so I'm going to go over A-bomb site, opening utility with 2 players, and then 3. So we're going to start off with the best spawn, so whoever has the closest spawn to mid-arch, they're going to run knife out. And they want to get across middle. You're going to want to jump and spot mid, jump around here so that you're kind of in the air at the peak of your jump as they're going to see you on the ramp. You want to be looking down the ramp at this red wall here to see who you can see, if there's anybody there looking back at you or looking towards banana. Either or is a good call, a good detail to call out. What you're going to want to do is try to get to the top of these stairs without getting naded or mollied, especially on pistol. They're not going to have anything. If you throw a Molotov against this back wall here, I use the balcony corner as a reference. So just around this balcony edge. If you just left click throw it, it'll land underneath the window, which is pretty good. But if you do a run throw, you can get it to land here, and then it forces them to have to jump up onto this ledge and bottleneck themselves onto this one side. And from there you can either keep running across and run through apps and get out and go back to lane, or you can take a peek. If you wanted to peek, you can peek either side, but you should have a flash, so you want to communicate that to your second spawn player who's coming in with you. Mostly it's just to get information, be up close here as close as possible, and to be able to hear them without peeking from the bridge. So you don't want to die from the bridge. Options if they do molly you off here, often you can still make the jump across and get the info, and then you use this beam here and you can Molotov apps. So we want to slow them down, taking the apartment's control. If they're throwing this Molotov, they're going to be coming alt aggressively. So we want to slow them down to get into the apartments. So if you have the first spawn, you come to here and you can throw that and they can't get in. Other options would be, okay, so that's the opening utility for the first spawn actually. So that's your opener, and that's your position you're starting off the round from. You can either fall back to lane side through boiler, or push through apartments, or push through long haul and get back immediately. On pistol round, you're usually just going to do a lap, get in and out. Second spawn is going to come into this corner, and they're going to throw this tough smoke, but it's along this beam here, and it's just at the bottom, so you're going to have to practice it on your own. But the reason why, it's a really easy left click jump throw in that corner, but yet the smoke has to do this backwards like bounce so that it lands more in the middle. Otherwise it'll miss and go only in the bottom left corner. So that fully gets bottom mid as well as the pit, so that we can continue to hold top mid as well. So it gives us options after our opening utility to take space, slow them down. So second spawn's going to come, throw that smoke. They're going to come into this corner and left click jump throw this flash over top, and that if they're not Molotoving this out, that's why the information's important. If you're not getting Molotov, you can peek it. You want to wait for this flash to pop. It will get people in ults and you will not get blind at all. And he can double throw that so that you can, 1, clear the bridge to start, and then 2, after the second one, peek lower. After you throw those flashes, if you were successful at getting the first Molotov off, the second spawn can throw Molotov off of this wall to land here and slow them down from getting up. So the plan would be to have a Molotov. If everything goes perfect, you want a Molotov to land here, and you want a Molotov to land here to slow them down from getting into the apartments. They'd have to boost up here, and either way it would slow them down. So the goal would be to slow them down in alt, have this smoked off, and then we can choose what to do. So now this person can fall back to site, the guy in boiler, so you'd have 1 in boiler and 1 at like arch corner to start off the round. just getting information. And then we fall back. If we hear them coming mid or anything really fast, we're both falling back to site as quick as possible into like a pit setup with someone in pit and someone on this box as like late round stuff. But I'll go over that in detail later. That's basically the openers that I was thinking of for 2 players. If you have 3 players, then you would end up nading down mid. The first spawn would have, or the second spawn would have more freedom to be more aggressive with the boiler player. So if we have 3 people there, you would have, the first spawn is still doing the same thing, but now the second spawn would change and they'd be able to push up through long haul up close and be able to support the boiler player if they're coming apps a lot, or push with him at mid and do a pre-nade down mid before the smoke pops, and then be able to crossfire quicker here, even playing in this cubby a crossfire, and giving the person playing from boiler is still watching apps and slowing them down. If you're getting mollied or whatnot, you just need to, depending on how the terrorists are playing it, you're going to have to be a little versatile. If they're pushing apps and A a lot, then the second player should run around and be playing long haul. And you guys can crossfire. Or if they're, you don't need to hold arches early. It's kind of like ramp if you only have 2. If you have 3, then I would always have your third player playing from arch. So that's 2 players, and then the third player would be this, they would be the person throwing the smoke and the 2 flashes. I hope I got everything with the opening utility. Gotta go. Bye.